What is up, YouTube? It is Major G, and today I am going to be checking out a reaction for WatchMojo, another top 10 list. This time is another one that's very close to my heart. None other than the top 10 Heroes characters. I love Heroes. Have been a fan of Heroes ever since the first ad ever came on NBC. Like in the mid 2000s, was it? And the first season was great. Second season, we had that writer's strike, which pretty much messed up everything. And you had the weird plot line with, because it was going to go somewhere, and then you had the weird plot line with the Mexican twins, and then they had that really cool girl who was able to copy anything she could see. And then they never went back to that because that was Micah's babysitter or something. And like they literally never went back to her again. Like they just showed her really quickly, and that was it. And she was in like a few scenes, like very few scenes. And then yeah, third season was, but the fourth season, which was I believe the last season, the very last season, started to pick up again, and it was actually starting to get good, but they canceled it. And then, of course, they brought back Heroes with Heroes Reborn last year, and that was actually a really awesome series. And then they canceled it, or they stopped it after that, especially after that cliffhanger, which was just messed up. Oh man, that had so much potential to go farther. And then they brought back a few of the people that we knew, like Hiro Nakamura. What's it? The mother Petrelli. Angela Petrelli. They brought her back. Who else? Matt Parkman came back. I love Greg Grunberg. Big Grunny Grunberg fan. And they brought him back. I didn't like where Matt went for that. Like the depths he went, or not the depths. I didn't like what he had become during that miniseries, so I was very disappointed with that because I'd actually liked Matt Parkman in the old series. And who else? Oh yeah, of course they had Suresh, which I'm mad they killed him off. They killed off freaking Suresh, Mohinder Suresh. I was hoping for so much more than that, and then they killed him off. They established he definitely died, and then of course you had HRG. What's his name? Bennett. You had Bennett. Bennett came back, and he didn't make it or something like that. And Hero also didn't make. Sorry, spoiler alerts if you haven't seen Heroes Reborn, but Mohinder, Hero, and Bennett are all either dead or soon to be dead. Claire too. They actually mentioned Claire, and she was also either dead or soon to be dead. Well, she is dead. They established that very early in the first episode, but there's those four people they brought back are all either dead or assumed to be dead. Let's see, Angela Petrelli, and was there anybody else that they had from the old series? No, I don't think so. I think that was it. I think that's everybody from that actually came back from the old series. They had a character. Oh no, two. They had two more that were from the old series. There was the girl Molly, who I had to go back because I had to think about it. I was like, I think I know who that is, but that doesn't sound right. But yeah, Heroes greatly revolved around, mainly revolved around Molly too. And Molly, if you don't remember who I'm talking about from Heroes, Molly was the little girl that shows up in the pilot of Heroes, the one that who Matt Parkman saves. He's the one that's the time he discovers that he's a telepath. If you've ever seen the first episode of Heroes, you remember that Matt Parkman was a LAPD officer who always wanted to become a detective, but he wasn't able to. And then he developed telepathic abilities when during the search for this missing girl, and he used those abilities to end up becoming a detective. Um, there's that. Molly, who was that little girl that he saved, also ended up coming back. Or I don't know if that was the same actress or not, but that character ended up coming back. And then, of course, one of my favorite characters that I loved, which was Micah. Micah was, if you remember, if you ever seen the old Heroes, Micah was, I think her character's name was Jessica, but it was Ali Larter's little boy, Ali Larter's little kid, and who just seemed to be this genius. Like, he was a genius, and he could like talk to machines. He was a technopath. And he could talk to machines. And they brought him back, same actor and everything, which I'm so happy about because I love Micah. Micah was awesome. I just like the actor too. He plays I don't think he does anything now besides Heroes, but he actually had some really cool roles when he was a kid. Because before that I remember him from My Wife and Kids, which was Damon Wayans' old sitcom. And by the way, if you've ever seen the youngest daughter from that show, oh man, she grew up. Ooh, she grew up. But yeah, he played the youngest daughter's semi-boyfriend or whatever, because she was like 6 or whatever, and he played this little boy who was completely infatuated with her, and he was a super genius in that show too, but like, he only stayed in her grade because he wanted to be with her. But like, he was always around because the dad, David Wayans, his character actually liked him. Michael Pyle, I think his character's name was. Yeah, because the dad actually liked him because he was this super smart kid who was really helpful and all this stuff. So like, he was like a really good little kid. But I remember him from that show. He was great. But yeah, so anyway. Top 10 Heroes characters. Let's see. My guess is that Hiro Nakamura is probably going to be number 1. Everybody loves Hiro Nakamura. I love Hiro Nakamura. I'm one too. I love Hiro Nakamura, especially Future Hero. Future Hero was awesome, and it's kind of sad we didn't get to see that actually happen to him. Especially since we got a hint of that in Heroes Reborn. Like, there was a scene where they showed him, where he had that possibility of becoming Future Hero. So that would have been awesome to see him become Future Hero. Even though we love Geeky Hero, Future Hero was like the awesome, like he was like the Pharaoh's. Future Hero was like the Pharaoh to Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, it was that kind of transformation. Like, he went from this kind of geeky dude to like this totally awesome badass character. But yeah, so I'm gonna say either Hero or Future Hero is gonna be number 1. Cywer's probably gonna be up there too, because Cywer had a pretty good progression. Noah Bennett, that's what I was thinking of. Noah Bennett is probably gonna be up there because they won't necessarily have to do people with powers. Claire's going to be up there because Claire was actually a really good character. For the most part, she was actually a pretty good character. And who else? Probably Ando, who was Hero's best friend. Ando was interesting. Peter Petrelli naturally is going to be up there. I know Peter Petrelli is going to be up there. What's that guy's name? Takezo Tensei? Kensei? The guy, there was a samurai guy who owned the sword that goes throughout the katana blade that goes throughout the entire Heroes franchise, and it's mostly known to be owned by this like 16th or 17th century samurai known as Takezo Tensei or Kensei, something like that, who turns out to be this white dude with basically Wolverine's powers, which was, and I'm not talking about claws because that's not Wolverine's power. That's just an ability he can do. Like, Wolverine's power is that he can regenerate and heal himself and all that stuff. So, which makes him more or less immortal. That was this guy's power. Like, he had the power he had cellular regeneration, which is what they call it in the show. And he could heal himself, and therefore he pretty much never aged. And he was played by the same guy that plays Blaine. He was played by the same guy that plays Blaine on iZombie Now. So he was that guy. I think his name was Adam or something. I think his character's name was Adam in that show. His actual name, not the legend name. And then, let's see. I don't think he's going to be on that list. There's a lot of interesting characters. So, Peter Petrelli is going to be up there. Top 5, my guess would be Peter Petrelli, Sylar, Claire, Noah Bennett, and Hiro Nakamura. Either Hiro or future Hiro. So here we go. Top 10 Heroes characters with WatchMojo. Let's go.
This is what you get when you give a lot of ordinary people extraordinary.
Oh, that's right. Kristen Bell was on Heroes. That's right. She played the lightning chick.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com.
I forgot about
We'll be
that.
counting down our picks for the top 10 characters from the TV show Heroes.
Oh yeah, the artist. There's
This list, we rank the best characters
was it
in the
BJ?
NBC
BC?
sci-fi drama series based on their importance to the series and their status as fan favorites.
What's this supposed to prove?
So Claire, Hero,
10, Elle
Peter,
Bishop.
Are you
Elle
innocent?
Bishop. Yeah.
On the one hand, she's a brilliantly badass character. On the other, hers is one of the most tragic stories in the entire series.
Yeah.
You said you knew all about my ability. Tell me what my dad did to me.
Kristen
I would say-
Bell's truly sizzling performance as Elle, who's able
Yeah.
to generate electricity at the wave of her hand after she was brutally experimented on by her father during childhood.
Poor girl.
My father
I would say most of that popularity though comes from the fact that it was played by Kristen Bell.
Relationships or anything close to a normal life.
You murdered my father!
Yes, I did.
So she's left feeling alone, isolated, angry, and sometimes she even gets a little psychotic. But can anyone blame her?
I know all about your ability.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't know anything about me.
Number 9,
Nathan Petrelli. Yeah.
I don't know. A lawyer and an ambitious politician with his eyes on the White House, Nathan serves as the outspoken leader of the Petrelli clan.
$2 million makes me a candidate in your pocket. $4 million.
Well, Hinder could be in the top 5 too.
Underneath his public persona and well-pressed shirts, this guy has the ability to fly.
The Haitian, dude. The Haitian was awesome.
We don't talk about that ever again.
Nathan's relationship with his power is an ever-changing one. At first, he tries to hide it. Then, he believes it's heaven sent.
I can't let you die.
And I can't let everyone else.
It drives him to depression, too. And he's always campaigning either for or against people with powers. So, you're never too sure if he's a good guy or a villain.
You need to snap out of it, Peter. See a doctor. Get some drugs.
Yeah, he was super
His
shady.
cards close to his chest, even if his feet definitely aren't on the ground.
You ready?
Number 8, Mohinder Suresh.
Yes.
Levitation. Tissue
Mohinder was
regeneration.
awesome.
Is this outside the realm of possibility?
Another character whose role in the series drastically changes from start to finish. Mohinder began the show as a genuinely ordinary person.
Do you ever get the feeling like you were meant to do something extraordinary?
Driving a cab, you may have noticed.
I'm not talking about what you do.
A genetics professor researching evolved humans, he becomes embroiled in the dangerous world of abilities when searching for his father's killer.
What I am doing is revenge. Now I can fulfill my duty as a son.
Eventually, he applies his already scientific mind and learns how to artificially create superpowers before dosing himself with super strength. But his is no upstanding Captain America kind of story. Mohinder's experiments go wildly awry, and a good person falls victim to the dark side.
I'm here to ask you to give us Claire. We need her blood.
Number 7, Noah Bennett.
Really? Bennett's number 7?
Yeah, everything's fine. Can a girl just visit her dad at work?
Also known as HRG, or the man in horn-rimmed glasses,
Yep.
Noah is a former agent of the company.
But if you die, Bob, the company dies with you.
A one-time bad guy, depending on whose side you're on, he's also a fierce and loyal protector of his daughter, Claire.
Yeah.
Expect me to work with
That was
this
the one
animal
side he
after
was
what
always
he did
for.
to my daughter, your granddaughter. He nearly killed her.
She can't die. You really don't understand her, do you?
He's often partnered with Renee the Haitian, another born-again good guy, and the pair are considered to be one of the most dangerous forces on the show.
I gave you specific instructions.
Yep.
Answer to someone whose instructions supersede yours.
But generally, Noah rolls with his own moral code, built almost exclusively on the need to keep his Claire Bear safe.
Yep.
Just a super protective parent, only
Yep.
with enhanced combat skills.
Thanks, Peter. You okay?
Peter's not here anymore.
Number 6,
Matt
Parkman.
Parkman.
Serial killer strikes in the middle of Los Angeles, abducts a little girl, and here I am. 100 feet away. Might as well be in Siberia.
For most people, the ability to read minds would likely be one of the first superpowers you
That's
appreciate.
mine. Telepathy is my favorite superpower. That's the one I would want.
But while it can be extremely beneficial for police officer Matt Parkman, it can also be quite a curse.
No, that's insane. No. I want to put this whole thing behind me. My wife and I have a baby coming. My family needs me.
Matt struggles with his ability more than most, and it often leads him to overhear thoughts he'd rather not hear.
Son of a bitch is thinking in Japanese.
He's usually the underdog, he's often ironically slow on the uptake, and he looks a little ridiculous when actually engaging with his ability. But despite all of that, we can't help but root for him.
You've been chosen. No, I didn't ask to be
Until
chosen.
Heroes
All I want to do is live a
Reborn.
normal life.
Number 5, Nikki Sanders.
He's right, Nikki.
Really? Nikki?
We should tell them. Stop it.
Though every character on this show has issues to some degree, Nikki Sanders really does have her share of problems.
God, who am I gonna
Yeah,
say?
she has DID, dissociative identity
All but
disorder.
single mother having to work as a webcam stripper to earn extra cash. She had an upbringing so rough she can't even remember most of it, and she has a highly ingrained split personality. The other half of which is a violent murderer named Jessica.
That's what it was. Yeah, Jessica's the crazy one.
This should be fun.
Above all of that, though, she's a devoted mother to Mika, the gifted boy who can manipulate technology. Nikki's heart is definitely in the right place, but her head, maybe not so much.
You need to pull yourself together. You're not real. Oh,
Yeah, I think her power was like
Number
super
4,
strength or
Claire
something.
Bennett.
So what are you?
Like it was basic, but she had the split personality thing.
Save the cheerleader, save the world. The entire first season of Heroes is largely built on one concept and around one character, Claire
Yep,
Bennett.
Claire.
As the cheerleader in question, she spent her teenage years learning an amazing truth about herself. She couldn't die, no matter how many attempts she
Because she's a Petrelli. She's Nathan Petrelli's biological daughter.
Isn't it? No. I heal, but I always feel everything.
Strictly speaking, her ability is known as rapid cell regeneration. Either way, she's able to repeatedly throw herself off of bridges, into fires, and into all other manner of dangerous situations, and live.
My name is Claire Bennett, and this is attempt number 7.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Claire proved to be a breakout role for Hayden Panettiere, and an iconic character for the series in general.
Yeah,
This is Claire Bennett. That was attempt number 6.
Number 3.
that was awesome. I love that.
You need to listen to me.
Yep, Peter Petrelli.
Trap.
Hero's gonna be number 1
The
probably.
younger brother to Nathan, Peter initially struggles to stand out amongst a string of successful and influential Petrellis.
It's my turn to be somebody now, Nathan!
He has big ideas but little promise, and he lacks Nathan's ruthless edge.
You're the only person that's gonna understand this.
Why the hell would I understand that you think you
Yeah,
can fly?
However,
Nathan's.
changes
I mean, not
when Peter
Nathan.
discovers his status as an evolved human, and the sibling rivalry starts to intensify.
He's absorbing your ability. He's got to make it stop.
Because Peter has the ability to absorb other people's powers, his superhuman spectrum is apparently endless, and his significance to the world is seemingly unmatched. Not too shabby for a no-hoper, eh?
Yep.
Peter, stop. It hurts.
Number 2, Siler.
Give me your damn left so I can sink my teeth in.
For anyone who's ever watched an episode of the show, Siler is prime nightmare material.
You really are extraordinary.
just like me.
And that was Zachary Quinto's breakout
In the
role.
first season especially, he's about as ruthless and bloodthirsty as it's possible to be. A serial killer and a serious collector of abilities. Because that's what drives Silent, the need to know how each and every power works.
In a way that helps me.
Yeah, that's his ability too. He can understand how things work.
If you have any form of superpower, then you're likely on his list, and chances are you're gonna have your head cut open and your brain removed.
That sound. In your heart.
Super hearing. Yeah, that's right. That's the lady with super hearing.
Murder.
Sure, Siler isn't always outright evil, but that's what he's remembered for.
I'm back.
Yeah, later on in the last season, he actually becomes pretty good. Oh yeah, Isaac Mendez, the painter. He paints the future. Oh yeah, that was messed up.
How are you doing this?
The super speed
Are
girl.
you a speedster too?
She was awesome.
No, I'm Hiro Nakamura. I stopped time.
I got news. You don't stop it completely, or we're not having this conversation.
Peter, you of all people should know they have to...
Oh, that's right. Robert Jeffrey was in the last season.
That's the only way they'll respect us. All you've ever
He
wanted...
had some kind of power over Earth or something. That's right. That's the deaf woman who could see music or something like that. She could see sounds. She was deaf, but she could see sounds.
Others in here to see.
And Angela saw the future. She was prophetic.
You killed your brother, drove Heidi away, drove your kids away. If you'd followed our plan, if you'd done what you were supposed to do, you would be alive now.
Number 1, Hiro Nakamura.
Called it. Hiro Nakamura.
Our winner is more than just a namesake for the show itself. He's where it all began, and arguably the most important of all evolved humans.
Future
My name
hero.
is Hiro Nakamura. I'm from the future.
Hiro has the ability to bend time and space, and to manipulate the lives of everyone else accordingly.
Save the cheerleader, save the world!
Often partnered with Ando, his best friend and deputy, Hiro is
Yeah,
intent
Ando.
on saving the world and conducting himself like all of his favorite comic book characters.
罠を仕掛けなければ、バットマンがキャットマンを捕まえた時の敵じゃない。
Yeah, that's not the
Falls
only
in
thing
love, he
Batman
makes
always
us
does
laugh,
with
and he's
Catwoman.
undeniably a good guy. If we could have our time again, we'd still place him at the top of this countdown.
Oh, absolutely. Heroes. I called that. Heroes number one. Of course he
Which
is.
Heroes characters did we miss?
Uncle Peter, Dad's making waffles.
For more out of the ordinary top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
That's right. Somebody had the power to give tattoos or something like that in the last season. So that was our list for the top 10 heroes countdown, or top 10 heroes characters of all time. Of course, Hiro Nakamura was number one. Of course, that was a definite. That was obvious. If you ever seen if you ever seen Heroes, you know that. You know Hero's gonna be number one. The only question would have been who comes after, and I knew Siler and Peter Petrelli were also going to be up there, as well as Claire. Claire's a very popular character as well. I'm surprised Micah wasn't up there. Maybe I'm like the only person who actually likes Micah. Because I always thought he was a really cool character, and they greatly underutilized him. Let's see. But, oh yeah, that's right, yeah. So Peter Petrelli's power was basically that he was like Rogue, except he didn't actually need to touch anyone. So, if you know Rogue from X-Men, her power is that she takes other people's powers, and she can use them for herself. And that's Peter. But Peter doesn't necessarily have to touch. Peter doesn't have to touch them to do it. Peter just needs to be around them. If they're around him, he can also gain their power. And at first, he can only do it like one at a time. Like whenever whenever he's around one person, he can only use their power for like until he gets around someone else with powers. And eventually he actually ends up learning how to use all of the powers that he's ever accumulated, which makes him freaking broken. so like, and I think that's when they were doing the big setup for Peter versus Siler in like season 3 or something, which was that Peter learns how to develop, how to regain, look inside himself and regain all the powers that he's ever used, which like makes him about as broken as Siler becomes. Who else? Is there anybody else I could that I feel should have been on there? Matt Parkman, I'm not surprised, was there. I think the dad's name was DL. DL was Nikki's boyfriend and Micah's dad, who could walk through walls. That was the guy who they showed reaching for the doorknob. He could walk through walls. And ironically, when the series begins, he's in jail. So, let me see. I'm not fully surprised that Ando didn't make the list, because he was probably too busy being overshadowed by Hero. I can't think of anybody else that would have been a cool character. Yeah, I think that's probably pretty much it. But yeah, they had a pretty solid list up there. I can't fully argue with it, except that I probably would have said Mohinder and Noah Bennett would have been much higher. They were... one moment. They were after who? Noah Bennett was... Mohinder was like number 8 or something. Noah was like number 7, I want to say. Which would make... Let's see. Mohinder was 9. That's the low one, I think. Mohinder was 9 or 8. So, if Mohinder was like number 9 or something, Mohinder was 8, which would make Noah number 7. So they definitely deserve to be higher than Nikki. I think they were definitely much higher than Nikki, Mohinder and Noah. I would have kind of liked to have seen. Who's number 5 then? Oh, right. I would probably say, I would put them above Matt Parkman too. I don't know why Matt Parkman is below Nikki. I didn't think she was either that popular or as detrimental to the storyline as Matt was. I would have put Mohinder and Noah Bennett after Claire. And I would have, for honorable mention, I would have at least had Micah and the Haitian, or Renee. Those are both really cool characters. So 2 was Siler, 3 was Peter. Yeah. But the top 5 was actually solid. Was it top 5? Was Nikki 5? Yeah, so Claire's 4, Peter's 3, top 4, excuse me. The top 4 were very solid. Top 4 was solid. I would shift around those last 5 and add Renee, the Haitian, and oh my god, why can't I think of that? And I can't think of the other guy I was thinking of. The Haitian and I don't know. I got lost, but the top 4 was definitely solid. Everything after that probably needed some jumbling up and the addition of a couple more. So that's all I got to say about that. And so if you like what you saw, if you agree, if you like what you saw, subscribe. If you agree, disagree, comment, subscribe, and share. So, were you guys familiar with Heroes? Have you seen Heroes Reborn? Are you familiar with the old Heroes? Have you seen both of them? I have a friend my buddy Seth, who was in the Civil War videos with me, said he didn't watch Heroes Reborn because he hadn't seen the original Heroes. So, what do you have any of you guys like in that position? Like, if you wanted to see it, but you just never got around to watching it. But yeah, so until next time, I will see you guys around later.